Well, hello YouTube. Just as a follow-up to the exhaust flex pipe video, I just wanted to do a more in-depth look at this exhaust pipe cutter here. Well, basically it's not specifically an exhaust pipe cutter, it's a pipe cutter. Because I actually think that cutting your exhaust pipe with one of these is far preferable to cutting it with that, and I'll show you why. So this particular tool came from Amazon, and I see various reviews on there, and some of them aren't very generous about it. The common complaints are: 1, it doesn't cut; 2, it goes blunt quickly; 3, it wanders off course. I actually think that a lot of those problems are created by people using the tool wrong, and then just bad workman blames his tools, doesn't he? So my experience has been totally different. I do think you need a little bit of a considered approach. So let me show you how I used it and how I think it's intended to be used. And of course, if I'm wrong on this, you can tell me. So you've got this chain, and you can probably see there's kind of in the tool, there's that little loop there. So you just feed the chain back on itself. Little tail there goes down through the loop, and you make a loop with the chain. Each of the cutting wheels has these little nubs on the end, and they are going to locate into the lever arms there. So I think the trick with this tool is to take a slow and considered approach to the way that you cut with it, and not go full gas. And I'm pretty sure that all of the people that say that the tool goes off course, I'm pretty sure they're probably going full gas, and that probably applies to the people that say that the teeth go blunt as well. So for this demonstration, you can see I'm not even cutting on a straight piece of pipe because reasons. I've cut most of the straight bits of pipe off. But what I'm doing is I'm just getting it snug onto the pipe, and I'm finding a pair of nubs that those claws will naturally fit onto. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off most of the tension on the tool, so it's just a fit, not a tight fit, just a fit. And I'm just going to begin rotating there, and you only need a quarter turn according to the instructions for the tool to cut. Now what I'm doing is on each couple of rotations of the tool, I'm only tightening the tension on the chain by about 1/8 of a turn at a time. And what I'm doing there is letting those teeth find their own channel. So this to me is the equivalent of center punching a piece of metal before you drill it. If you put a drill bit onto just a piece of metal and start drilling, it's going to skate everywhere. And I think it's the same with these teeth. If you don't give them a chance to find their way and cut a channel they're going to ride into, they're going to skate about. So as you can see, I'm taking this really slow and really steady. Another tip is, as you swing the tool around, keep your hands wrapped around both sides of the handle and try not to inadvertently hit the little silver release. I did that a few times whilst I was cutting the exhaust under the car, and it's annoying. Now it's not a problem, because if you've done this right, you'll have a nice little channel that those teeth will go back into. So again, you know, it's just a very slow, considered process, this one. You can feel a time lapse coming on. So I've taken you in for a reason, so that you can actually see that those teeth, hopefully you can see down between the teeth there's that little channel that they've cut. I'm just going to take the tool off just so I can show you what I mean. And here's the beauty of, if you've done it right, these teeth should go back into the channel they were cutting. So can you see? They're cutting a nice clean little channel around the pipe there. And because I've got that clearly defined channel that the teeth have cut, it's not too much of a chore to get them back into it. And there's a bit too much tension on that chain. If the tool doesn't turn relatively easily, you've probably got it over tightened. Yep, I think we're practically there. I'm just going to tighten this just until I feel the edges of the chain touch the pipe. Just going to go until there's no adjustment left in the tool, which is there. Let's take it off. Give that a little bit of a wiggle. Let's get a pry bar. Okay. Now I'm using a pry bar here just to wiggle that end off. But imagine if you had a flipping great big length of exhaust, you just give it a wiggle, and look how clean that cut is. Now if you compare that with the sort of cut you get from an angle grinder, he says, putting his safety glasses on. So here's the deal, okay? With the best will in the world, that blade is never going to get all the way through that pipe. Imagine if this is under your car and that's close to a body frame, subframe, fuel tank, God knows what. So, I mean, obviously, you know, here on the bench, I can probably come at it from the other side if I need to get a cut across the pipe. But I don't think it's ever going to be as clean a cut as I got with the chain tool. And to prove that, here's a cut I made earlier with the angle grinder, where that was seriously the best cut I could get on a bench with a grinder. You know, on the car, that would, if you were trying to fit two sections of exhaust together, okay, you can probably file that bit down. But to me, I just think it's a lot smarter if you go at it with the tool I've just used and you get a lovely, clean, defined cut like that. The other criticism the Amazon reviewers seem to levy at this tool is that it goes blunt quickly and it goes rusty. This is probably about the 5th or 6th cut I've made with this tool, all on rusty old pipe like this. And it's fine. And as far as it going rusty, all of your tools will go rusty if you just finish what you're doing and throw them in a drawer in the workshop or in your shed. I, on the other hand, am a little bit OCD, and all of my tools get cleaned down with WD-40 before they go away. So there you go. Just my thoughts on that tool. Now this isn't a promotion or anything like that. At the time of making this video, I've only got 3 subscribers. This is just my own thoughts on a tool that I've discovered that I didn't know about till I want to change this flex pipe. And when I find stuff like that, I think it's worth sharing. Anyway, thanks for watching this one, YouTube. I'll catch you in the next.